There was a huge fire out in Riverside, and it was so bad, and we were passing through, even just not even to be brought in, and it was so bad, you could just feel the stuff coming inside in the rig.
Eric and Hallie Botkin bought their dream house 4 years ago here in Temecula. Eric is a 10-and-a-half-year veteran of the Riverside City Fire Department as a paramedic. Hallie is a special education teacher at nearby Chaparral High School. They have one son, Hunter, who's 9 years old and a huge Angels baseball fan. But while they may be living in their dream house, they never figured on the nightmare that Eric would now be suffering with glioblastoma multiforme, or GBM. Hallie, why don't you give me a little historic background on you two here? Did you two just kind of fall in love and get married, or how did this whole relationship come about?
Well, actually, Eric moved onto my street. I was in 2nd grade and he was in 4th grade, and so we've known each other since then. We dated for 7 years.
What took you so long?
Well, we were going through a lot of things, and finally got to the point where I said, look, we either need to get married or we need to break up, because this isn't going anymore.
I think, we
So
were
she
young,
said, okay.
and, I was going to school, and he was working a gazillion jobs and trying to decide what he wanted to do, and so that's about when he decided he wanted to be a firefighter, just before we got married. And so then we got married, and then we had Hunter 7 years later. Almost exactly, I went into labor 7 years, 14 years from our first date is when I went into labor. It was exactly July 29th was when our first date was, and that's when I went into labor at. And we got married 7 years and a month, August 29th.
Wow.
So every 7 years something happens. Except for this last 7 years, it took a little longer, and this is pretty bad. But
Yeah. So when you heard the news?
we had gone to first the oncologist in our local area, and she was sitting there, and Eric's mom was there, and she said, you have this thing called GBM, and you probably don't want to make any long-term plans. We're like, what? I mean, she didn't even really say the name, she just said this GBM, and we're like, what do you mean long-term plans? Like, I mean, Eric and I are, long-term, we're, going to be 85, 90, 100, whatever, because but long-term, like 5 years, a year, 10 years, what is she talking about? So we were just kind of stunned, and then we went to the neurosurgeon in the area, and he brought us into his office, and he said, you have GBM, and explained, the glioblastoma, and said, he told me I should quit my job and stay home and take care of Eric because he was going to die.
Mercy.
And I was like, so we were all a little stunned, and Eric and his mom were crying, and I was just so stunned at what he was saying to us. And Eric, he wasn't even 40 at the time. I'm thinking, well, this guy's nuts. So I said, if this was your wife, one of my coworkers told me to ask this, if this was your wife, where would you go? So I asked him that, and he said City of Hope, and I said, all right, it's been nice meeting you. I was at it. That was it. I was done with the people here, and we went to the City of Hope. So, and then from when we went there, they said, we're not God. We don't know when you're going to die. So we're going to be as aggressive as we can and try to keep you here as long as possible. They said statistically 2 to 5 years that's what the numbers are. But Eric doesn't have to be one of those numbers, and he's younger. Most of the people who get this are 50 and older. This is the same disease that Senator Kennedy has.
How is the Chaparral High School helping you out? Are they being good and allowing you to help out Eric and getting him to and from treatments?
Yeah, the school has been wonderful, and the district has been fantastic. And I don't know if it's like this at all districts, but at our district, teachers can donate time, depending on how much time they have. So they have donated a lot of time for me to be, whether he has his surgeries or his doctor's appointments. So, and now they're doing the fundraiser.
Wow.
So
how does that make you feel?
It's overwhelming. It's amazing. I'm excited. I'm excited for Thursday night. I'm excited to see, because I hear little pieces, this and that, and
So you don't know what they're going to do. The Follies. You don't know what the.
I know some things. I've seen the list of teachers and the acts and stuff, but I didn't memorize them all. But there's I think 20 different acts that people are going to get on the stage and do their thing, and it's amazing how talented our staff is. I mean, who knew? So
take the act on the road then, right?
Possibly, and you know, we've even discussed now, because this was a kind of a first for our school, but possibly, you know, creating something like this for other causes, doing this maybe an annual kind of thing
to help other people.
help out other people.
Wow,
you
that's
know,
great.
so that would be really fantastic.
Diane Cox, what has she meant in all of this?
Well, Diane Cox is one of my fellow teachers, and she actually sits in on all the IEP meetings that we have, because I'm a special education teacher, so she's the administrator for that.
I felt like I needed to help her. I just didn't know what to do. I wanted to do something classy, something not just, you know, everybody does a rummage sale or a garage sale, or, you know, so I just wanted to, I even thought about developing a website.
And I guess she said one night,
I couldn't sleep.
she kept thinking about it.
When I woke up the next morning, I told my husband, I got it.
And then it just came to her, she needed to do this Follies fundraiser.
We're going to do the Faculty Follies fundraiser, and we're going to have a silent auction.
And I think in her mind, it was just going to be this kind of little quaint little chaparral thing.
I thought it was going to be something small, where Chaparral is just we're going to showcase our teachers, get the students involved and all of that.
And she's been overwhelmed with the support from the community, and everybody, I mean, people from out of state, I mean, sending checks. Just, it's a really this gigantic thing now.
And it has snowballed into this huge, you know, event. And we're just really excited. I'm a little nervous because I signed on to do Tina Turner.
How can the community help you?
Yeah, come to the Follies. I mean,
But beyond
be
that,
there. I don't. Prayers are always helpful, and that's what we tell people, because we don't know what we need or what to ask for. But I mean, that's a good start. And
or if they wanted to contribute to the Follies, is there a website or a phone number?
If you go to the Temecula Valley Unified School District's website, under events is a flyer with the contact information for Diane Cox.
Okay.
And that would be how.
Because
they
it
could
just
get in
doesn't
contact
end
with
with
her.
April 16th, I'm sure.
No, probably not.
Yeah.
The hardest part, just on a side note, is, you know, if you're the guy with me who always wanted to be the person who's out helping other people, now come on to be the person that's getting help. It's almost overwhelming for me to just stand up and have a conversation to tell people thanks, when I would much rather be the guy offering them the help.
Well, both of you are first responders, you know.
Yeah.
You're the guy that drags people out of cars, and burning houses and, you know, trees and whatever, and out of holes and all that. And you're here helping young people that everyone is frustrated to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Funny, huh?
The irony is just huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a great thing, like I said, to go out and take your family with and have a good time.
Yeah.
So,
Well, speaking of that, Hunter, do you have that schedule? Need you to get that. Okay, why don't you get next to your dad there? And the Angels want you three to go to a game, so you have to pick out a.
Oh, I gotta go.
It's got to be the next
Wow.
homestand.
thank you.
So you can see that the Botkins, even though they are special, first responders in education and in life, that they're just an average family. They love baseball. They love each other. They're a terrific family. But being caregivers, they're not used to receiving. So now this is our chance to give something back to those who give to us. In Temecula, I'm Lou Stowers, Help News Network.